Developed by Tomorrow Corporation and released on several platforms including the Wii U, Little Inferno is a pretty hard game to define by a single genre. Some call it a sandbox game and some call it a puzzler. However, it's kind of both and at the same time neither. It has puzzle elements in it, I guess, and it does give you the freedom to do as you will within a confined space, but these really aren't the reason you're playing the game. So I'm going to define it under a new genre. It's a burn 'em up. A tough one this. Before I got this game, I remember asking Raiko, who had bought the game around December 2012, what the game was about while we were playing a bit of Monster Hunter on the Wii U. I believe his reply was something along the lines of, "You just burn things?" Which, if I'm honest, didn't really sell the game to me. But after playing the game myself, he is kind of right. In the simplest of explanations, the story is this. Since you bought the game, you in turn own a Little Inferno, which is a little brick fireplace. You are greeted by a welcoming letter from Miss Nancy thanking you for buying the Little Inferno and giving you some details about what it's for. That's correct, it's for burning things. As the game progresses, you realise that you're not the only one out there who possesses a Little Inferno, and someone else who has one even makes contact with you. That person being your sweet little neighbour Sugar Plumps, who shares with you some of her items in return for some of yours. She also has some insights into the Little Inferno's inner workings and thus fills you in with some hints here and there. As the story progresses further, you are made aware from an introduction video that was given to you with the Little Inferno that the city you live in has been ravaged by a snowstorm since what seems like always, and thus the city folk are kept alive via the warmth from their Little Inferno.
Out of your chimney, way up in the sky. It's been snowing for years, and we just don't know why.
Graphically, the game is very simple and minimalist in design. You aren't able to move anywhere in the room you're in, and thus your only view is of the Little Inferno. The fire you create looks good and moves quite realistically across the items you're burning, and in most cases rewards you with quite a beautiful looking scene. The items available to burn are quite interesting to look at, although quite simplistic in design. They range from all sorts of places, including household items, used toys, and even food and drink. On the audio side of things, you're again treated to a simple design with the only sound heard during actual gameplay being the fire and the sound effect created from the constant burning of items. There is music in the game when scrolling through menus or reading letters, but that is where the music generally stays unless an item you're burning is music related. Overall, the game has a Tim Burton feel about it, with the dark and dirty looking Inferno and the subtly creepy yet beautiful music that plays when reading certain letters being examples of the similarities. So how do we actually play Little Inferno and what is the point? Well, let's start by explaining how the game actually works. So you, like the rest of the city, use items to create a fire. You do this by buying items from an available catalogue and then burning said items in the fire. You use your cursor as the initial ignition by just pushing on the left mouse button. This will burn your item and thus set off a fire trail across the other items unlucky enough to be in close proximity. When burning items, you are rewarded with stamps and coins. Coins are used to buy more items and upgrade your mailbox, allowing for more items to be bought at one time, and stamps are used to get the items delivered to you much quicker, as every item needs a certain amount of time to arrive. There are also coins available for the squishing of bugs, which will crawl around your Little Inferno periodically. So what is the point? Well, as the game clearly states via a letter from Miss Nancy, there is no point. There is no score, there is no time limit, but she also states there must be an end, so from the start, you can simply just have fun burning things and seeing the outcome. There is however two options open to you to progress, although both work in tandem to one another. First, you can complete the available combos, which are listed for you in a menu. You do this by solving a bit of wordplay and then burn the 2 or 3 items needed. Completing these combos will earn you stars. Secondly, you can work towards unlocking all the catalogues by buying all the items within each and using the stars earned from combos. There are 7 catalogues in total to unlock, with 20 items within each one to burn. On the surface, this game seems like a pretty tame idea. You buy things, you burn them, and you buy more things to then just burn. However, it's the game's subtle dark undertone that is the real draw for me here. There is a real creepy sense that something wrong is going on within this game. There is no major clues first of all alluding to anything wrong happening, apart from a few creepy kids getting way too excited about a fireplace in the introduction video. Yet I couldn't shake the odd feeling off, and even though I was having fun burning everything and trying out different combinations, I still had this something is wrong here feeling going on in the back of my mind. I started to question whether this game was just simplistic for the hell of it, or was the simplicity a mask for something quite philosophical beneath. I mean, is the little Inferno an analogy for how we live our lives? Constantly spending money on throwaway items just for a couple of moments of pleasure to then pay for more items to use and discard, and thus getting stuck in an endless cycle of this pointless buy, discard and repeat life? Maybe it's something else completely, maybe it's playing on our primal need for destruction. As we have seen, this game is really nothing amazing from a critical gaming eye, yet it's addictive and draws you in. Is that because of the amazing atmosphere the game presents? Or is it just because it's a way for us to throw away the conditioning of society and thus let out our need to destroy things? Let's be honest, I'm overthinking it, I know. The game, however, is really fun, and that's because the atmosphere it creates does pull you in. Play it with a set of headphones on in the dark and you'll thank me for it later. Here are a few examples of my favourite things to burn. It's also a great way of burning pictures of people who would never be interested in you sexually from your Facebook page. Don't press buy. A complete waste not only of my money but all who time spent developing this game. To call this app a game is a misuse of the word game. It has no challenges and no skill is required. No strategic, logical or abstract thinking is required. No problem solving, no hand-eye coordination or memory skill. There is little progression, there is no sense of achievement. You simply move things around. Well done. Requirements to play this game: a working finger, lobotomy. If this sounds like fun to you, then by all means waste $2.99. However, if you have read this review, then it means that you can at least read. So my advice is to also purchase a house brick to repeatedly smash against your forehead until you are stupid enough to play. You might then enjoy it. Seriously, it's that bad. Lovely music and graphics, but, in my opinion, this is not a proper game. It is thoroughly boring and very disappointing. I was expecting great things, but nothing really happens. The game is very pretty and lovely music. When opening the game for the first time, it looks promising. However, all it involves is making endless fires with various objects. I just don't see the point. Am I missing something? I really can't see what all the fuss is about. I was hoping for some kind of storyline, but this game is literally just about burning random objects. If burning stuff is your kind of fun, then great. Go buy it now. Otherwise, I really wouldn't bother. Very disappointing. Really? Did I seriously just pay £3 for a game about burning stuff? What's with all the good reviews? This game is so dull and I will now delete it. Waste of money. Wish I can give it no stars.